Ah, is this sweet? I can't tell.
Yo, 2015 is fucking over. I kind of can't believe that it's the end of the year already. This is the fourth time that we've been doing this on this channel, and yeah, 2015 has been a pretty good year for music. A very odd year, I would say. A little bit more backloaded, you could say. Wasn't too much happening in the first half of the year, but in the second half, boom. Lots of stuff. So this is my top 20 albums of 2015. Feel free to let me know what you guys have as your top albums of 2015. But this is my list. We do have an honorable mentions and disappointments of 2015's video, and as well as the top songs of 2015. And then Sam and Keith have their own things, their own top albums of 2015 as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Number 20, I have Children of Bodom with I Worship Chaos. Children of Bodom put out Halo of Blood in 2013, and it was a very strong return to form, in my opinion. I'm not sure if I find this album to be better than Halo of Blood, but it continues in the right direction of just solid Children of Bodom songs. Songs like I Hurt or Morgan or My Bodom or whatever are solid songs, and Morgan has one of my favorite guitar solos of the year as well, and a very, very crunchy riff. So yeah, Children of Bodom with I Worship Chaos also might win the award for the worst album name of 2015 as well. Number 19, I have Blind Guardian with Beyond the Red Mirror. This album I was a little disappointed with at first. It grew on me a little bit, but not as much. But it's not an awful album. I mean, if it was awful, it wouldn't be on my list, you dingus. But songs like, I just feel that the songs on here just aren't as strong as like older Blind Guardians from the 90s and stuff like that. It's still the very over-the-top symphonic power metal. Songs like The Ninth Wave or Distant Memories or Twilight of the Gods. I mean, there are some songs on here that will put a smile on your face, and I personally think The Ninth Wave is one of the best songs Blind Guardian has written, but as a whole, album weighs you down a little bit, but it is a solid album. Number 18, I have Paradise Lost with The Plague Within. Man, this album surprised me how good it was. This is more of a return to the old days, to the early days for Paradise Lost, of the just really gritty doom and just sadness that's going on. I mean, songs like No Hope in Sight, Punishment Through Time, Return to the Sun. I mean, they moved away for the most part from the gothic metal that they've been doing with albums such as Faith Unites Us, Death Divides Us. Those songs were a little bit more rock, you could say. This is more metal. It has energy to it, but they still have hints here and there, and it's used really well. I really like this album, and I'm looking forward to hopefully more Paradise Lost in this type of style. Number 17, Fight Me. I had Bullet for My Valentine with Venom. I would say if I were to make a list of the most surprising albums of 2015, this would be number one, in that it's a fucking good album, in my opinion. I mean, Army of Noise just kind of punches you in the balls throughout, and then they have slower songs like Worthless that are really cool. No Way Out is another really good one. It's like we said in the review, Bullet for My Valentine kind of has a soft spot to me, just because they really helped me get into a lot of the music that I'm into today, and when they're good and they put out good music, it makes me happy. And this is an all-around good effort. Not their best album. Not an album that I feel will really turn a lot of people back into Bullet for My Valentine fans. Maybe, though. But it is a good album. Number 16, another band that put out a turd album a couple years ago, in my opinion, and then returned to form. Nile with What Should Not Be on Earth. All you need to do is listen to the song Evil to Cast Out Evil, and then you'll go, alright, cool. This is fucking awesome. That song is one of my favorite songs of the year, and it gets Nile back to what they're good at, and that's, making some of the heaviest fucking death metal you'll ever hear with one of the thickest fucking guitar tones that just literally rips you apart. It mixes it with, cool, Egyptian themes and styles, and it's rad. Songs like To Walk Forth from the Flames Unscathed, or Call to Destruction, or the title track are just fucking awesome. And vocally, this album's good. It's not just, the vocals felt good. They felt like they were really well written, unlike with At the Gates of Sathu, where they felt a little random, and it's just kind of like, but this is good. This is really good. So yeah, Nile. Number 15, I have Intronaut with The Direction of Last Things. This album came out a couple weeks ago, and it's honestly, I think, Intronaut's best work. It mixes that heaviness, that edge that Intronaut has, it mixes it with some of the best beauty that they've ever created. Lots of variety on here. Songs like Fast Worms or Digital Gerrymandering are just unbelievably good. And vocally, I think this is one of the best performances that Intronaut has done. So that's Intronaut, number 15. Number 14. Last time these guys put out an album, I believe it was number 2 on my list. The Black Dahlia Murder with Abysmal. This album I can also kind of put in the disappointments this year. I think Everblack was so good, and this is the first time where I can say the Black Dahlia Murder did not improve on their last album. But this album, I recently went back to it, and it really is a good album. I really dig the title track, and it's black metal influence mixed with a more metalcore chorus. It is really good, and songs like Vlad, Son of a Dragon, or what I think is one of the heaviest moments in one of the heaviest songs of the year is Refaced. Jesus Christ, that song just destroys, especially the middle section. And Trevor still sounds good. This album it has a different feel to it. I think that's might have been why I was a little bit disappointed at first. But it is a solid album. So yeah, number 13, I have Rivers of Nile with Monarchy. This band put out an incredible debut a couple years ago, and this album, when I first started listening to it, it literally, you could listen to the band evolve in their songwriting as the album went along. Like, the songs just got better and better and more complex, and all these different elements into the songs, and it was like, this is fucking good, man. Especially songs like Sand Baptism, which is just fucking slow, it's heavy, and vocally it's really good. And then Sun Told with some melodies and atmosphere to it, and it's just an incredible album, and I'm glad that Rivers of Nile took that next step. They're one of the best technical death metal bands out there, and I very much am looking forward to what they do next. And they're somewhat local to us, which is cool. So yeah, Rivers of Nile. Number 12, Scale the Summit with 5 or V, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be called. I don't know. Maybe I should have looked that up, but I didn't. This album is fucking good. That's why it's on my list, dingus. Songs like The Winged Bull or Ort Cloud, Blue Sun, Stolas, not Skolas. It's just incredible. It's incredible instrumental music, and it just, the songs really just kind of paint a picture in your head, or you paint your own picture to the song, and it's just a soundtrack to something in your life, and it's really, really well done. And you can't complain about a lack of variety in a fucking Scale the Summit album, because it's all over the place, and just the sheer musicianship is incredible. And I really do think that this is their best album, and this is another band that I feel has been improving album after album after album, and it makes me excited for what's next for this band. Number 11, I have Amorphous with Under the Red Cloud. This album is... Amorphous is one of the best bands out there, I feel. And I feel ever since Silent Waters, they've really been on a roll. I just really like their style of kind of rock a little bit, mixed with metal, mixed with a lot of melody, and just really good songs. And, the title track, Sacrifice, Death of a King, Come the Spring is one of my favorite songs of 2015. I love that. And Amorphous just really can mix beauty with some heaviness and a little bit of groove sometime, and they're just one of the most unique bands out there. And this is just another solid Amorphous album. I think I'm slightly disappointed like this much, because Circle was a really good album from 2013, but this one's good too. Number 10, I have Meloria by Ghost. Man, I really do think that this is one of their best albums. I always have a toss-up between their debut and this one. But songs such as... I always forget how to say it. I don't know how to properly say it, but Cerise, I'm going to say, have just a very pumping, just fucking ass-cracking fucking riff, man. I love that riff in that song, and then you have like He Is, which is a little bit more beautiful sounding song, from the pinnacle to the pit, Spirit. This album too has one of the best productions you'll ever hear in a fucking metal album. And Ghost is just one of the most unique bands out there of just really writing very well executed songs. And some of the guitar work and guitar harmonies on here is just fucking awesome. So yeah, number 10, Ghost. Number 9, last time these guys put out an album, it was my number 1. Now it's my number 9, Enslaved, Within Times. This album is good. It's very good. Just not as good as Retir in my eyes. Songs such as 1,000 Years of Rain and Building with Fire and the title track are very good, and it's Enslaved doing what Enslaved does recently, writing very good progressive black metal. And so it's, take 1,000 Years of Rain. I love the verse in that song, how just driving the drum beats are. It's just a very interesting riff underneath of that. It's cool, and Enslaved just know how to really put together a song that'll really hold your attention over a long period of time, and have a lot of very interesting elements throughout, and create a very unique, very dark, and very consistent atmosphere throughout the whole album. Enslaved is Within Times. It's a good album. I'm gonna take one. This video is sponsored by Nirvana. Come buy your shotgun ammo here. Number 8, I have Intervals with The Shape of Color. This album just came out, but I think when it comes to what's the best instrumental album of the year, I think Intervals wins, man. This album puts a smile on your face, and this album is just, whoo. Take songs such as Fable or Meridian that just have a lot more melody to them. They're a lot slower. And then take a song such as I'm Awake that has a lot of good energy to it, mixed with some of the best guitar work you'll hear all year. Aaron Marshall is an incredible guitar player and songwriter, and completely knocks it out of the park on this. I'm a little sad that they don't have a singer anymore, but if you're going to get music like this, whew, I can live with that. Intervals put out their best album, in my opinion, with The Shape of Color. Number 7, I didn't even, what a coinky ding. Number 7, I have Lamb of God with 7, Sturm und Drang. I probably butchered the shit out of that. But it's Lamb of God's new album. And this album, maybe their best work? I don't know. I feel Lamb of God kind of started out up here. Or they hit a peak with Ashes of the Wake, and then it kind of went downhill. Not in a bad way. Their albums have been good, and albums such as Resolution or Wrath have been solid, but they haven't fully kicked your ass the whole way through to the point where you say I can pick out a song, every single one of these songs I can pick out and go, that might be the best song on this album. You can't do that with past Lamb of God albums, in my opinion. They just weren't consistently good. This album is consistently good, and it consistently just fucks you in your face the whole time. Except for the track Overlord, where they really experimented, and Randy Blythe, used clean vocals. It's a slower song, and I think it really worked well, and I expect them to do a little bit more of that as they move on to their next album, whenever. But songs like such as Still Echoes or Embers with Chino Marino from the Deftones are just fucking phenomenal. This is really a very solid effort from Lamb of God, and I honestly wasn't expecting it. I was expecting another Lamb of God album, and that's kind of what we got, but they kind of executed really well and did a lot of really cool stuff that feels fresh. Number 6, winner of the heaviest album of 2015 is Cattle Decapitation with the Anthropocene Extinction. Oh, this album is just gross, dude. This is, when you listen to this album, you kind of just want to destroy everything around you, and it really gets you pumped the fuck up. Songs such as Manufactured Extinct or Pacific Rim, The Prophets of Loss. It just goes on and on. I do think that this album is better than Monolith of Inhumanity, which I didn't know if Cattle Decapitation could honestly top that, because that album just blew me the fuck away. And the clean vocals from Travis Ryan are just unbelievably good on here. I mean, they got a really weird style to them. You can call them cleans if you want. I don't. That's just the way that I describe it, so that people really know what I'm talking about, because they're just very unique. There's no one out there that sounds like him. And then you get into those guttural lows that just fucking destroy, and those just really gross slam parts and those grindy shits. It's like, wow, this is awesome. Cattle Decapitation really outdid themselves on this album, and I dig the fuck out of it. Number 5, it's the real deal shit, man. Number 5, I have Ensiferum with One Man Army. This album is much better than their last one. What was it? Unsung Heroes. I feel this album it's a lot more thrashy. It's got a lot more balls to it. But it still has those folky elements that everybody loves from Ensiferum. I know some people go, only they're self-titled in Iron Matter because Yari was in the band, and Yari is God. Yari doesn't put out music, man. Yari's kind of like Tetsuro Nomura of music. He just kind of promises a lot of stuff, but never actually puts stuff out. Anyways, Ensiferum is with One Man Army. You know, just take the title track for example. That's a very thrashy song. It just kicks your ass the whole way through. But then take Burden of the Fallen, which I think is one of the best songs of 2015. That chorus is unbelievably good, and just the feelings that whole song just captures is incredible, and it has that melody and this folk elements that Ensiferum are known for, and I just feel this album really executes from start to finish really well, minus what's that fucking song, Keith? Two of Spades. That's that song's kind of weird. So yeah, that's my number 5. Number 4, I have Glory Hammer with Rise of the Chaos Wizards. I know some of you are like, what the fuck, man? What is this album? Why do you guys like this so much? I don't understand it. It's corny. It's not good. And, you know, yeah, it's corny. I'll full out admit that this is the corniest fucking shit you could ever listen to in your life. I mean, you're singing about goblins and wizards in space going to battle in this kingdom of Dundee, and it's like, alright, but it's so well written, and that's the part, once you accept that the lyrics are some of the corniest, stupidest shit you'll ever hear in your life, the music is phenomenal to this. This is some of the best power metal you will ever hear. You know, the title track is just unbelievably good. And then you have Universe on Fire, which is probably one of the catchiest songs you'll hear all year. Not the best song on the album, but it's fucking good. And then you have Heroes of Dundee. In the fucking last track, which I'm blanking on the name of, it's just epic. And the vocals go up here, and they're just so over the top, and the music is just, the guitar work is so well done, from the soloing to blending in with the keyboards. The orchestration's really good. Everything about this album is unbelievable. You should listen to it. Number 3, I have Iron Maiden with the Book of Souls. Not only did Iron Maiden put out one album, they put out 2 albums. 2 albums, and you count it as one album. That's called a double album. I'm fucking stupid. Anyways, the Book of Souls is probably, it's by far Iron Maiden's best album since Brave New World. It might be one of the best Iron Maiden albums, period. I don't think there's an album that I listened to this year that made me more happy than this one. Simply because Iron Maiden is my second favorite band, and they're just a joy to listen to. Down the dumps, listen to fucking Iron Maiden, man. They'll put a smile on your face, and some of the riffs on here are fucking tight. A lot of the melodies and guitar leads are just classic Iron Maiden. It feels like something straight out of 1980s Iron Maiden, such as If Eternity Shall Fail. My favorite song on here, on both albums, The Red and the Black. Unbelievably good. The title track is very good. Empire of the Clouds, which is an 18-minute epic. There's a lot of really long songs on here. And they're all really, really well done. There's not one song on here that sucks. Speed of Light, which is the shortest song, just fucking jams the whole time. And it's just a very good album, and can't go wrong with Iron Maiden. Number 2. There's only 2 albums left. Visigoth with The Revenant King. This was my number 1 at the halfway point of 2015. This album is the best classic heavy metal you can find in a long time. Like a long fucking time. You can't get better than this. Just listen to The Revenant King, the title track. The riffs, the solos, the fucking vocals, everything is so good, man. Dungeon Master is another one. This album can get kind of thrashy on you, but it has those Iron Maiden elements of, really good leads. The solo work is awesome. I think my favorite solo on here, well, there's two that stand out. The Revenant King is an incredible solo, but then also Iron Brotherhood. I love, in that song how they kind of play the riff and then they get back to the solo. Play the riff, get back to the solo. It's just so cool. It's, it's been done before, but it's so well done. And I think the kind of dirty and sleazy production really helps this album out a lot. It's got a very nice crunch to it, and this is probably the best debut I might ever hear from a band. It's seriously incredible. If you're into more classic heavy metal or thrash or anything like that, especially Iron Maiden, this album is straight up your fucking alley, man. And I just really want more people to listen to this band because the future is fucking bright for this band, and this is seriously one of the best albums of 2015. One of the best albums, I think, of this whole half decade so far. It is a classic in my eyes. Number 1. This is it. Number 1, I have Swallow the Sun with Songs from the North 1, 2, and 3. And this doesn't win just because it's a triple album. It wins because it's so masterful. When I heard they announced that it was going to be a triple album, I was like, how do you do a triple album and really hold your attention? But they did it, and each one just has kind of a different theme. The first album they say it's gloom. It's more how Swallow the Sun has been going with Emerald Forest and the Blackbird or New Moon. And probably one of my favorite songs of the year on there is Room and Shadows, or Heartstrings Shattering is another really good one, or Silhouettes, which starts off so fucking heavy. And that's the thing, Swallow the Sun can get fucking gross and be one of the heaviest things you will ever hear. Then they can be literally the most beautiful thing you can hear. And I think Room and Shadows really mixes them together really well, because they have the rhythm that opens that song up, with the dan 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 dan, it's really heavy, but then they get one of the most gorgeous and just breathtaking guitar leads to go over top of that. It's like, yes, this is awesome. And then you get into the second album, which is all acoustic, and it's gorgeous. I mean, songs such as Autumn's Fire or The Heart of the Cold White Land are just incredible albums or songs to listen to. The title track on that album, Songs from the North, they're beautiful, beautiful songs, vocally and guitar wise. I love just the dynamic with the vocals on all three of these albums. They can be beautiful, they can just be straight up really catchy and good clean vocals, or they can be some of the most disgusting things you will ever hear in terms of just pure, powerful gutturals, lows. It's really fucking well done. And then the highs are really good too. Vocally, this album is incredible. In the sections where they get some female vocals on here, shine and work really, really well. And the last album, Despair, is just straight up doom. It is straight up just sadness and fucking darkness. I think my favorite track on there is Empires of Loneliness, and especially when it gets to the middle section where it picks up a little bit in terms of energy. It's like dan, 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 and then they have the guitar lead over top that's dan, 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 dan. It's one of the most breathtaking things I heard all year. I really think this is seriously one of the best albums I've heard in a long time. Like I said, it doesn't win because it's a triple album. It wins because of the sheer scope in that it's executed so well to near perfection, in my opinion. Swallow the Sun is one of the best bands you can find in metal, period. And this is one of the best albums you can listen to. And this is my favorite album of 2015. So I urge you all to go listen to it. Or it's. Whatever you want to say. So yeah, those are my top 20 albums of 2015. Make sure you check out Sam's. Make sure you check out Keith's. And check out our top songs and our honorable mentions and disappointments / shit of 2015. It's been a pretty cool year for music. And thank you all for watching this year. Keep going into next year. Keep it on, homie. So let us know what your albums are of 2015. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.